Hello, thank you for joining Twyford Yoga today for this yoga club class. The yoga club is aimed at runners and cyclists. It's all yoga, and you'll find even if you don't run or cycle, you should enjoy the class. It's a short class. It's going to move and stretch every part of you. Follow along, being aware of how your own body feels today. Work at your own pace and level. You don't have to do everything, and if there's something you've not done before because you've not done the yoga club, then you might want to watch it, rewind it before you do it yourself. Hope you enjoy it. Let's start. Bring your feet together, shoulder blades relaxing down your back, top of your chest lifting, crown of your head lifting. 2 rounds of sun salutations. Inhale. Exhale, palms pressed firmly together, lifting your elbows, relaxing your shoulders. Stretching, reaching your hands up, looking between them, lifting your arms up and back from your hips, stretching all the way forward and down. Fingertips make contact with the ground. Bend your knees as much as you need to make that happen. Neck muscles relax, head hangs heavy. Inhale, right leg back. Lifting your gaze there, relaxing your hips. Stepping your left foot back. Our first down face dog. Hips lift on high as your hands press down, heels press down. Taking your weight towards your legs, stretching out your arms. Bring yourself forward to plank. Looking between your hands in plank, shoulder blades easing down your back. Lowering your knees, followed by your chest. Making contact with chin or forehead on the mat. Pressing forward, lift your face and lift your chest. Shoulder blades ease back, elbows in close. Tuck your toes and lift your hips. You can take them back to your heels first if you want. Down face dog, hands press down, heels press down, hips lift. We'll take our calf stretches here. If you find this is too long in down face dog, then feel free to bring your knees down and take a rest. Bending your right knee. As you next exhale, firmly press your left heel down towards the ground, stretching your left calf. Inhaling, swap that over. As you exhale, press your right heel firmly down. Inhaling, swap, bending your right knee as you then exhale, left heel firmly to the mat. One more each side. Inhaling, swap, exhale, right heel to the ground. Inhale, swap, exhale, left heel. Inhale, swap, exhale, right heel pressing firmly down. Press your left heel down to join the right. Reset your dog if you've got the energy, lifting your hips, hands press down, heels press down. Looking between your hands, bringing your right foot through. Help it as much as you need to, lifting your gaze, relaxing your hips in your lunge. Bringing your left foot through, relaxing for a moment in forward fold with your head hanging heavy, and stretch and reach all the way up. Looking between your hands, tilting your rib cage to the ceiling, hands come down. Inhale, exhale, palms pressed together. Stretch and reach your arms up, looking between your hands. From your hips, stretch forward and down. Fingertips in line with toes on the mat, head relaxed. Left leg all the way back. Lift your gaze, relax your hips. Send your right foot back, down face dog. Hips lift on high, hands press down, heels press down. Come forward to plank. Shoulders over wrists. Looking between your hands. If you're feeling strong, you could lower down by taking your elbows back or knees then chest. So lowering down. Pressing forward as you lift your face and lift your chest. Tucking your toes and lifting your hips. Back into down face dog. Heels press down, hands press down, hips lift. Taking your weight back towards your legs, feeling your chest, head to your knees, feeling your armpits lower. Looking between your hands, bringing your left foot through. Lifting your gaze there. Right foot springs through. Relaxing here with your head hanging heavy. Stretching and reaching all the way up, looking between your hands. Hands come down. Inhale. Exhale. One more round, we'll flow this one with our breath. Inhale, rest breath. Exhale, palms come together. Inhale, stretch and reach up, tilting your rib cage to the ceiling. Exhale, stretch and reach down, fingertips to the mat. Inhale, right leg back. Lift your gaze. Exhale, left foot back. Hands forward, heels down. Inhale, forward to plank. Shoulder blades relaxing back. Exhale as you lower. One straight line on knees, then chest. Inhale, lift your face and lift your chest. Exhale, toes tuck. Hips lift on high as your heels press down. Inhale, right foot through. Lift your gaze. Exhale, left foot through. Forward fold. Relaxing just for that moment on the exhale. Inhale, stretching and reaching up and back. Exhale, hands down. Inhale. Exhale, palms together. Inhale, reach and stretch up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, left leg back. Lift your gaze, relax your hips here. Exhale, right foot back. Hands press down, hips lift. Inhale, forward to plank. Exhale to lower. Inhale, face and chest lifts. Exhale, toes tuck. Hips lift on high, heels press down. Inhale, right or left? Left foot through. Lift your gaze, relax your hips. Exhale, right foot through. Forward fold, our final one. Inhale, stretching and reaching up and back. Exhale, hands down. Taking your feet apart, turning your palms to face forward. 2 cooling breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Bring yourself to lying down on your mat, making sure that you've got a belt or a towel or a tie or something close at hand that you can use to lift your leg in just a moment. Then coming to a good Shavasana, feet apart, hands away from your body, palms turned up. Keeping your awareness within your body as much as you can. So maybe being aware of your breath and your heart rate as they return back to resting. Preparing to stretch our legs in all directions, bending your knees, bringing your feet in towards you. Taking a hold of your belt, picking up your right foot, loop the belt around the ball of your right foot, and then stretch your leg out along the ground. You might find you need to just come away from the wall if you can. Landing your heel down, holding a belt loop in each hand so that your arms are straight. Flex your right foot, drawing your toes up towards you so that your calves activate, press your knee down. As you next inhale, slowly lift your right leg up to the ceiling until you get towards the first hint of stretch. You can then reach your hands up. So you're holding a belt loop in each hand, your arms are straight. As you next inhale, ease your leg back to its first biting point. That's that point where it's starting to get uncomfortable, but it's not painful. Your leg's just letting you know it's gone far enough. We're going to use our breath then to find more biting points. Every time you inhale, ease your leg back another millimetre or 2. Every time you exhale, relax your upper body as much as you can, especially relaxing your shoulders. Any discomfort in your lower back, then or if you hyperextend in your joints, put a little bend in your right knee. Using your breath, inhale, find your next biting point, exhale, relaxing your upper body. Taking one more breath, finding a final biting point on this side. And pass both belt loops to your right hand. Extending your left arm out along the ground. I'm just going to move away from the wall. Hold as close to your foot as you can easily reach. As you next exhale, take your right leg out to the right. Bend, taking your left knee out to the left. Bringing your leg as low as it'll easily comfortably go. Let the belt slip through your fingers, bending your right elbow. And once you're there, you can just relax. The more you relax, the more of a stretch you'll get down the inside of your legs, making sure your right wrist is straight. Pressing your left knee a little further away to feel the stretch down the inside of your left leg. As you next inhale, bringing your leg back up to the centre. Reaching up to take a belt loop in each hand, ease your right leg back to its biting point. Then bending your leg, removing the belt, landing your right leg down, stretching your left leg away from you. Let your feet relax for a moment, tuning into how each leg feels. Then setting up for the left hand side, bending your knees, bringing your feet in towards you. Pick up your left foot, loop the belt around the ball of your left foot, stretching your left leg out along the ground. Holding a belt loop in each hand, your arms are straight. Relax your shoulders there. Then as you next inhale, slowly lift your left leg to the first hint of a stretch. Then you can reach your arms up so you're holding a belt loop in each arm with your arms straight. Ease your leg back to its first biting point and use your breath. Find some more. Every time you inhale, find the next biting point. Every time you exhale, relax your upper body. Take one more breath. Pass both belt loops to your left hand. Stretch your right arm out along the ground at shoulder height. As you next exhale, take your left leg out to the left. Belt slipping through your fingers, left elbow bending. Right knee heading out to the right to counterbalance you. Relaxing then as much as you can, feeling the stretches down the inside of both legs. One more breath. As you inhale, bring your legs back up to the centre. Unhook the belt from your legs, stretching both legs out, taking the belt to one side. Moment in Shavasana, feet apart, arms away from the body. We're going to take a stretch for our hips, an opening of the hips with eye of the needle. Bend your knees, bring your feet in towards you. Picking up your right foot, crossing your right ankle on your left knee. Picking up your left foot so that your both legs are coming in towards you, and then sitting up, lifting your head so you can reach your hands through. Your right hand having gone through the eye of the needle. Do put a block or a cushion against your head if that allows you to be more comfortable, so that you can then take your head back down, bring your legs in, flex your right foot so that all your toes, particularly your little toes, are heading up towards your right knee. And then start to ease your left leg in towards you, taking your left leg towards your shoulder and starting to press your right knee away from you. As you do that, you should feel the stretch start to develop in your right hip. You could use your breath here so that as you inhale, you bring your left leg a little closer. As you exhale, you press your right knee away. Using your left leg muscles as well as your hands to draw that knee in. If you want to strengthen this, you could press your tailbone down towards the ground. You could also take a hold around your shin rather than your hamstring, but only do that if you can then relax your upper body against the ground. Take one more breath. Final ease in of your left leg, press away of your right knee. Then you can release your left leg, bringing your left foot down, bring your right foot down as well. Maybe just take a rock side to side with your knees. Bring that to a halt in the centre. Pick up your right foot, cross your right ankle on your left knee.
Left ankle.
Left ankle. Right ankle on left knee.
No. Left ankle on right knee.
No, it's right ankle on left knee. Oh! It's crossing. left ankle on right knee. And then picking up your right foot. Reaching your hands through again, taking a hold behind your right thigh, taking your head back down, flexing your left foot so your left toes are heading up towards your right knee, and using your right leg strength and arms, bringing your right knee in towards your right shoulder, pressing your left knee away. Relaxing your shoulders as much as you can, keeping your foot flexed. Using your breath as you inhale, bringing your right leg in closer. As you exhale, pressing your left knee away. Again here, if you want to, you could press your tailbone down. You could also take a hold of your shin if you can still easily rest your upper body back on the ground. Taking one more breath. Release your right leg, land your foot down, uncross your left leg and stretch both legs out. Bringing your palms turned up, taking a few breaths there. So for our core today, we're going to take Dynamic Crow. If you're not familiar with Dynamic Crow, you might want to watch it first and then rewind before you do it. Bringing your feet together, stretching your arms overhead. I can't quite stretch my arms out, but if you can, stretch your arms right away from you, pressing your heels away as well. Drawing your navel down towards your spine, so you're locking on your core, switching it on. Then as you next exhale, start to lift your legs, lifting your upper body as well. Bending your knees, bringing your knees in towards you. So you make a contact somewhere with your knees along your arms. The closer you are to your armpits, the stronger it will be. As you next inhale, stretch that out. So send your legs away from you, take your arms back overhead, stretching out as long as you can, and then keep that going with your breath. As you exhale, bringing it in. As you inhale, taking it out. Keep your navel drawing down towards your spine. If you want to lighten this, then you could choose not to send your legs all the way away from you. The closer you bring your feet down, then the lighter it will be. You would also do just the upper body movement or just the leg movement to lighten further. So just taking it to the level that's right for you. And if you're stretching your legs all the way out and want a bit more strength, don't land your heels down so that you keep working. Keeping your navel drawing down towards your spine. Taking two more if you've got them. And when you've done your final one, land your legs down. Keep your arms up above your head. Let your feet come apart, resting your legs. Maybe directing the expansion of your next few inhales down into your abdomen, so that as you breathe in, your abdomen rises. As you breathe out, your abdomen falls. Bringing your hands down by your side. Preparing for bridge, bending your knees, bringing your feet in towards you. Turning your palms face down, reaching down, just seeing if you can graze the middle of your heel with the middle of your finger. With your middle finger, in fact. Feet hip distance, then turning your toes in slightly, so you're a little bit pigeon-toed. Tilt your tailbone up towards the ceiling so your pelvis tilts up. That starts your pelvis lifting. Keep it then lifting up to the ceiling, pressing into your feet. Once your hips have lifted as high as they'll comfortably go, start to press your upper arms into the ground so that you can peel more of your upper back away from the mat. If it feels like the right thing for you to do today, you could then interlace your fingers underneath you, and then you could also maybe just roll your upper arms outwards, rolling your shoulders underneath you, taking a lift on each side to allow that to happen. Wherever your hands are, you could then press into your feet and press into your upper arms, lifting your hips, lifting your upper back. Keep your breath steady and smooth. Taking 2 more breaths. On your final inhale, have another good lift up. And then if your hands are underneath, you move them out to the side. As you next exhale, slowly lowering back down, sending your hips towards your heels so that you come down smoothly from the top of your back all the way down to your hips. When your hips land, bring your knees up onto your chest. Take your arms around the back of your knees or around the front of your knees, taking a rock side to side. Bring your rocking to a halt in the centre. Ease your head towards your knees and draw your knees down towards your chest. Land your feet down. Land your head down. Stretching your legs out. Taking rest. Bringing your feet together, taking your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers if that's comfortable, pointing your hands away. Otherwise, have your hands separate, pointing your fingers away. Press your toes forward, press your hands back, stretching out as long as you can. Feeling yourself lengthen and narrow. Stretching out a little bit longer, and then release. Bring your hands over by your side, bringing yourself to sitting. We're going to take Paschimottanasana, straight leg forward fold. So you may well want to sit on a block for this. You also may want to have a belt handy. Particularly take a block if sitting like this isn't the most comfortable, and if you find it's hard to bring yourself forward. Bring your hands then by your side, pressing into your fingertips so that you can lift your chest up. And also just starting to ease your chest forward. Remembering in a forward fold we want to be folding forward from our hips. So bringing your abdomen forward as much as your chest. As you next inhale, bring your hands up towards the ceiling. Stretch as tall as you can. And keep that stretch upwards as on your next exhale you start hinging forward from your hips. Bringing your abdomen forward as much as your chest. Hinging and hinging and hinging for as long as you can with your arms straight. When you can hinge no more with your arms straight up, bring them down to wherever they come to for you. You might be on your knees, your shins, your ankles or your toes. You could also keep your hands down by your side. You could also take a belt and use that to help you to ease forward. Wherever your hands are, starting to use your breath. As you inhale, ease your upper body forward a little more towards your toes. As you exhale, relax your upper body over your legs. Any discomfort in your lower back, take a bend of your knees. Also, if you're finding that you're sitting quite upright, you could also take a bend of your knees to help you on your journey forward. Using your breath. Every time you inhale, ease forward. Every time you exhale, relax down. If you've got a bend in your knees, as you exhale, you could also maybe just press your knees down and straighten your legs a tiny bit more. Take 2 more good breaths here. Don't move a muscle except to lift your head to look at your toes. Your arms to stretch them forward. Take an exhale, press forward on that exhale, and a big inhale coming back up. Exhale, lower your hands. Taking a shake of your legs. From there, bring yourself to lying on your front, ready for a back bend. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders so that the tips of your fingers are lined up to the top of your shoulders. You'll have your elbow just pointing up a little towards the ceiling, bringing your forehead down onto the ground. With your forehead relaxing on the ground, lift your shoulders up towards the ceiling and then take them down towards your feet. It's a little up and back movement. As you next inhale, lift your face to look directly forwards. As you next inhale, slowly start to peel your chest away from the mat. Your hands are just relaxing on the ground, they're not lifting you. Elbows coming close, easing your chest forward as your shoulder blades relax down your back and your elbows head towards the back of the room. Keeping your breath smooth, taking one more breath. As you exhale, slowly lowering down, landing your forehead onto the mat or maybe your chin. With your chin staying on the ground, just take that lift and move of your shoulders, lifting them up and back. As you next inhale, lift your face to look forward. You maybe feel a little stretch in your throat as you do that. As you next inhale, lift your chest. Shoulder blades down your back, elbows in close. As your elbows then can head to the back of the room, you'll feel your hands pull against the mat. They won't move against it, but they'll be pulling gently on it. Chest eases forward. One more breath here, lifting maybe as you take it. As you exhale, lowering down. Got one more cobra. Shoulders lift up and back. Inhaling, lift your face to look forward. Next inhale, lift your chest. Shoulder blades easing down your back. If you want a little bit more on this one, as you next inhale, put some pressure into your hands, maybe lifting your chest a little higher, only coming as high as your lower back is comfortable to go. Easing your chest forward, elbows easing back. One more breath, one more lift. As you exhale, lowering back down. Bring your hands underneath your forehead, resting your forehead onto your hands or maybe a cheek. So just going to take one more back bend here. We're going to strengthen it up a little, but know that if you want, you could rest this out, or you could take cobra again with your hands underneath your shoulders. If you want to make it stronger, take your hands down behind you, interlacing your fingers, resting your hands on your back. If your shoulders don't enjoy this, you could have your hands separate, so your hands are just resting by your side. As you next inhale, lift your face so you're looking directly forwards. As you next inhale, lift your chest. As you next inhale, lift your hands. Press your hands back to the wall behind you, lifting them up towards the ceiling, lifting your shoulders, lifting your chest, keeping your breath steady and smooth. One more breath, one more lift if you've got it. As you exhale, slowly lowering down. Bringing your hands underneath your forehead, resting a forehead or a cheek onto your hands. Bringing your hands underneath your shoulders, coming up to hands and knees, and then sitting yourself back into child's pose. So hips come down towards your heels. Bring your hips as close to your heels as you can, then bring your forehead down towards the ground. If your forehead doesn't easily touch the ground, then you could either take a fist or two fists under your hand, or place a block or cushion underneath your head. Once you're there, then relax, making any adjustments to your child's pose. So you could maybe take your knees wide, or you could have them close together. You could maybe stretch your hands out in front if they're not underneath your forehead, or bring them down by your feet, or bring one hand on top of the other on your lower back, or interlace your hands behind your head. Anything that makes you comfortable. And once you're wherever you want to be, then using your breath so that each time you exhale, you let your upper body, your whole body in fact, relax towards the ground. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, pressing into your hands, and then stretching your legs out. Picking up your right foot, crossing it over your left leg, ready for a twist. Take your hands onto your knees, so you can draw your knee towards you, lifting your chest up and forward towards your knee. So really coming up good and straight. Take your right hand behind you, pressing your right fingertips into the ground. So that keeps you lifting your chest up and forward. As you next inhale, lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Stretching tall. As you exhale, starting to turn your chest to the right. Taking your right arm either so your elbow comes against your left knee, or your right knee, or taking a hug around your arm. Taking your right shoulder back a little to help your chest ease round. Taking your gaze over your right shoulder, making sure that your chin is level, so you're neither looking up nor down. Using your breath from here. As you inhale, re-straighten, pressing into your backhand. As you exhale, ease round a little more. Only easing round. Don't use your elbow if it's against your knee to force your way round. It's just supporting your upper body in moving round. One more breath. As you next inhale, lift your left arm, unturn, curling as you do. Exhale, lowering your left arm. Uncrossing your legs, taking a shake of your legs. Bringing your left foot in this time, crossing it over your right leg. Taking a hold of your knee, drawing your knee in as you lift your chest, so coming good and straight. And left hand behind you, fingertips pressing into the ground. As you inhale, lift your right arm, stretching taller. As you exhale, turning to the left. Taking your chest around, bringing your arm to hug around your leg or to take the elbow against your knee. Taking your left shoulder back a little more. Taking your gaze over your left shoulder if that's comfortable for your neck. And using your breath. Inhaling, straightening with your back hand. Exhale, easing round. Using your upper body strength more than your arm to help you twist. One more breath. As you next inhale, lift your right arm, untwisting as you do. Exhale, lowering your arm. Stretching your leg out, taking a shake of your legs. Bringing yourself up to standing. Ready for some standing postures. So taking your legs a reasonable distance apart, ready for a Trikonasana, a triangle pose. Bringing your hands onto your hips. Turning your right foot in and your left foot out. Turning your hips so that you're pointing to the long edge of your mat as much as you can. Lifting your right arm up towards the ceiling. Stretching your right arm as much as you can, pressing your right foot firmly into the ground. So getting a good stretch down the right side of your body. Take your left hand onto your left thigh. Keeping your right hand lifting as on your next exhale you start hinging over to the left. Keep your right shoulder easing back rather than coming forward, just coming down as far as you easily can. When you get to that point, you could maybe start pressing your fingertips towards the wall that's in to your left. Then use your breath. Each time you inhale, press your fingertips to the left. Each time you exhale, relax more to the left. As you next inhale, bring yourself back up. Exhale, lower your right arm. Hands on hips, feet face forward. We'll take a couple of breaths before we do the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Turn your left foot in and your right foot out. Guide your hips back to face the front. Inhaling, lift your left arm up towards the ceiling. Fingertips stretch up as your left foot presses down. Take your right hand onto your right thigh. Keep the upward pressure with your left arm as on your next exhale you hinge to the right. Keeping your left shoulder easing back. When you've come as far as you can, start pressing your fingertips away from you. That might help you drift down a little more. Then using your breath, As you inhale, your fingertips press forward. As you exhale, you relax to the right. One more breath. As you next inhale, lifting yourself back up. Exhale, lowering your hands. Feet face forward, hands on hips, heel toeing your feet back together. Taking a good shake of your legs and coming to Tadasana, ready for a balance. For a balance, we're going to take Natarajasana, the dancer's pose. So bringing your feet hip distance apart, letting your hands relax by your side, shoulders relaxing. Just take a couple of breaths here before we do anything else. Feeling the rise on an inhale, letting the exhale relax your shoulders, relax your whole body all the way down to your feet. And preparing for dancer's pose, bending your left foot, bending your left knee, bringing your left foot, taking a hold of your left ankle. Now whilst we're here, we might as well take a calf stretch before we come into dancer's pose. So bringing your knees towards each other, bringing your heel in towards your buttock, pressing your hips away from you, and pressing your knee down and bringing it back. So you should...
Use a thigh stretch.
What did I say it was?
Calf.
Calf. Quad stretch. Good quad stretch. You should now be feeling a good quad stretch. So keeping that heel coming into your buttock, hips pressing forward, knee pressing down and back. Then we'll take this into dancer's pose. Maybe lifting your knee a little, so you're bringing your thigh bone more firmly into its socket. As you next inhale, lift your knee up behind you, bringing your right hand up in front of you. Just bringing that knee as high as your balance allows. You could hold here. If you wanted to make this stronger, you could then start pressing your ankle into your hand, lifting your knee high, lifting your foot higher. Maybe finding that spot on the ground that can hold your gaze. Keeping your breath nice and steady. Taking one more breath. As you next inhale. Lifting back up, lowering your knee as you come up. Exhale, releasing your leg, releasing your hand. Taking a shake of your legs before we do the other side. Feet hip distance apart, hands relaxing. Shoulders relaxing. Bending your right knee, taking a hold of your right ankle. If you're on a carpet, you might be finding your balance isn't as good as it is in class. The softness under your feet makes balancing a little more of a struggle. Bringing your knees towards each other. Bringing your heel into your buttock. Pressing your hips forward. Pressing your knee down and back a little so that you're engaging your quads. Feeling that stretch in your quads. Maybe tilting your tailbone down a little as well. That might strengthen it further. And bringing it into dancer's pose. When you're ready, on an inhale, starting to lift your knee up behind you, bringing your left hand in front, keeping a lift in your chest. Fine, stay here, but if you want more, pressing your ankle into your hand, lifting your knee, lifting your foot, keeping your chest lifted, keeping your gaze on something fixed on the ground. Keep your breath smooth as you next inhale. Lifting back up, lowering your knee. Exhale, lowering your hand, lowering your leg, taking a shake of your legs. From here, coming into a forward fold. Feet hip distance apart, hands on hips. Take a lift of your chest, relaxing your shoulders as you exhale. hinging forward. Keeping that lift in your chest for as long as you can. When you can hinge forward no more. Release your hands from your hips. Let your neck muscles relax so you find yourself looking towards your knees. Take hold of the opposite elbow with the opposite hand. Using your breath so that every time you breathe out, you just sink a little lower towards the ground. Releasing your hands, bending your knees deeply, tucking your tailbone under, and then slowly starting to roll back up. Your head will be the last thing to lift. When it does, take a roll back of your shoulders. And then get yourself ready for final relaxation. Putting on any clothes, any warm things that you want to, finding any cushions, anything you'd like to put behind your head, and coming to stretch out on your mat. Feet out to the corners of the mat, hands away from your body, your palms turned up, letting everything relax. Being aware of the back of your body against the ground. Making any adjustments so that the back of your body is as comfortable as it can be. Being aware of your next few breaths. Feeling the rise of the inhale. Allowing the fall of the exhale to relax your whole body more easily and more comfortably against the ground. Letting everything go. Letting everything rest. Your body still for a few more moments. Bring your awareness gently back. Take a wriggle of your fingers and toes. Bring your feet together, take your arms up overhead. Have a gentle stretch out, toes pressed forward, hands stretching back. Releasing that stretch, bending your knees. Bringing your knees, one then the other, onto your chest. Bringing your arms back over to hug around the back of your knees or the front of your knees, taking a rock side to side. Bringing the rocking to a halt in the centre, easing your head to your knees, drawing your knees down to your chest. Releasing, head down to the ground, feet down to the ground. And from there, maybe coming via the right hand side for a moment, slowly bringing yourself back to sitting. Thank you for joining us. Namaste.
Namaste.